Hey y'all, Amber here with Yarny Claws Crochet, and I have something really special to show you today. Here it is. Isn't this going to be so pretty? Look at that. Now, the reason that this kit is so special is because this is my very first commissioned project. And I'll be honest with you, I'm terrified because I have never attempted mosaic crochet before. This, I do believe, is what is called inset mosaic crochet. I have watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to do this. I am pretty confident I can do it, but it's a bit overwhelming, and I'm nervous because I don't want to mess this up, and I really hope that it turns out as wonderfully as it looks in this photo, but I'm so excited. So let's open this kit and look into it a little bit. The yarn we are going to be using in this project is Red Heart Super Saver Ombre, and this is the color Jazzy. Has all these different shades, variants of pink. It's very pretty. I like it a lot. And our next color, Erin. It's a nice creamy white. It's very pretty. These are going to look beautiful together. They're going to look fantastic. So if you couldn't already tell from the pattern photo, the trees in this blanket are going to be this pink color with the Erin color being, I guess that would be the main color. All right, here is the pattern, and for those of you who are not sure where this kit came from, I did not buy this kit. It was sent to me to be completed, but I do know that it's from Mary Maxim, and it's very beautiful. I was able to do some research from Mary Maxim before I took on this project, and I wanted to make sure that I could handle it before I agreed. And this is called Sholach, according to the very Scottish pattern designer. And that is the pattern designer right there. Get your hook on. And she designed this according to, I think it had something to do with a Christmas tree farm in Scotland, something like that. But she's very witty. She's very funny, the pattern designer for this. She does have a YouTube channel. There's not a whole lot of videos on it, but they're all just about this. I watched them all. She explained it very well. Like I said, have no doubt that I can do this. Let's see. Here she goes. She says, the inspiration for this design comes from my friends Kelly and Craig and the rest of the McIntyres and their Christmas tree farm based just outside Blairgowrie in East Perthshire in Scotland. I always wanted to do a nice landscape-based design, and I thought it would be fabulous to create them their own Christmas tree farm blanket for wintertime. Sholach is pronounced Sholach, the way us Scots pronounce lock with a 30K. Right there. Sholach. I'm going to get started on this kit. Wish me luck. I've never done any crocheting like this before. I'm so nervous, but I need to get reading through this pattern, and we're going to get started making this blanket hopefully tonight, and I will keep you updated and let you know how everything's going. So let's get started. Okay, so I got the foundation rows completed, and when I pick back up on this tomorrow, I'm going to be officially starting row 1. So we'll be getting to the point where the pattern will start to emerge. So far so good. I think this is going okay. I think this creamy white color and this pink looks wonderful together. I am using the chart, and there are also like written line by line instructions too if you like those better, and I'm using my 5.5mm Clover Moore hook. But yeah, I think this is going well. I'm going to stop for the evening because I'm starting to really get tired, and I'm using my stitch markers to indicate where the pattern's going to go. Is going to repeat across 8 times. So I've got 8 stitch markers to go with the chart here, and we will continue on tomorrow. All right, we have finished pattern number 2. This blanket is really starting to get some height on it now. Pattern number 1 ended right here at the top of the tree line. Pattern number 2 is this section up here, and this went so quick. Like, I was so surprised at how quickly I got this section done. I was hoping the color change for the pinks would last a little bit longer, because down here, you know, you see the pink is lighter, and then it gets to that really deep dark pink here for the trees. Then it finally transitioned over to the light pink, and I was hoping it'd stay that way longer, but you see what happened, it went right back to the dark pink. So hopefully next time the color change will have a little more variation to it. But we have section number 2 done, and I'm moving on to section number 3. Section number 3 has more of the trees in it and a different kind of design, and I cannot wait to show it to you. This is looking so good. Oh my gosh, you guys. If you've not tried mosaic crochet, you need to try this. It is so much easier than it looks. I cannot stress that enough. It is so much easier than it looks. Alright, it's time to give you all an update on the blanket, and we are now officially halfway complete. I finished chart number 6 last night. So what is essentially going to happen, since I've got to the top up here, I have to go back down to the bottom to chart number 1, which is where the big trees are down here, and essentially do all of this over. So I'm hoping, since I've done all of the designs at least once, that this second time around will go much faster. You can see it's getting some length and width on it. If it touches the floor and I hold it up to myself, it comes up at least to my waist, if not a little bit higher, and it's going to get twice the size. So yeah, we are almost done. I'm going to get started back at the bottom with these big trees again, and I will catch back up with you here in just a little bit. But this has definitely been an undertaking. It's not difficult at all, but I'm not going to lie to you, this is time consuming. It's taking a lot of time, but I look at this, is it not worth it? I mean, it's blowing my mind every time I stretch this blanket out and I look at it that I made this. Wow. It's amazing. It's so amazing. All right, let's start back over again with chart number 1. Okay, y'all, so we're getting close to this blanket coming to an end. I've only got about 8 rows left before I need to start the border. So before I continue on, I just had a couple of things I wanted to talk about. First off, I've been using a 5.5mm H clover hook. If I have not mentioned that yet, I just wanted to say that this is the hook that I've used for this entire project. And let me tell you, we're all familiar with red heart, right? And red heart is not the softest thing in the world. This clover hook crochets with this yarn like it is superwash merino. I'm a complete believer in clover crochet hooks. I want to talk about this yarn real quick. Personally, I don't overly have a problem with Red Heart. The thing that is killing me with Red Heart is both of these are the same yarn. They're both 4-weight yarns. This is the color Jazzy. It's part of the Red Heart Ombre family. And this is just regular Red Heart Super Saver in the color Aran. One of the things that I've noticed about this yarn is when I'm using the Aran color, this feels like a true number 4 weight yarn. But when I would go from using this and then jump over to the Jazzy, the Red Heart Ombre, this yarn is so much thinner, even though they on the label are the same. It's so much thinner. And I mean, my camera may not be showing it that way, but by feel, the pink feels thinner. On my hook, I probably could have gone down a hook size. It's just so much thinner. Since we're getting so close to the end of this project, I kind of wanted to talk about mosaic overlay crochet with you a little bit before I get all of this finished up. If I can do this, you can do this. And I kind of just wanted to show you how this works, the concept of it, because it's so much simpler than you think. So each row is worked in a different color. The row I just finished, you can tell, is the Aran color. So now I need to reattach my pink. And you know, you see all these ends, I've cut them and tied them, because what's going to happen on the edges here is I'm going to make an envelope border where all of these will be cut to about 1/4 of an inch in length. And then I'm going to envelope, just border around them. So I'm not going to have to weave in any of these, which is wonderful if you do that way. So we're going to go back to the Jazzy. And the way that this works is there are only 2 stitches used in this blanket, which is single crochet, back loop only, and the double crochet. So if you can single crochet and you can double crochet, you can make this pattern. So I'm just going to attach this here real quick. And we all have different ways that we do that. I'm just pulling up a loop and I'm going to make a chain, go right back into that same loop, because I need to put a single crochet in this very first stitch here. This is called the border stitch. And all the border stitch does in this pattern is give it a stable edging. The border stitch is not part of the pattern. It's always just a basic single crochet. And each row will end and begin with a basic border stitch, which is just a single crochet. So let's say we've got the border stitch done. Now we're starting on the pattern. So we're just going to pretend with this pattern here, okay? So on the pattern that I have, when I'm looking at the graph, if the graph is just a square, that means that it's a single crochet back loop only. And if the square has an X in it, that means that you need to do a double crochet, and you're going to do the double crochet right down here in this loop right there. That is the front loop of the single crochet from the previous row. Okay, so another back loop only. So right here, I'm just going into this back loop right there and just doing a single crochet. Now, to give you an example of how the double crochet works, this right here is where the double crochet needs to go. And I want the pink to show up over top of this white. That is why it's called mosaic overlay, because I'm overlaying one color over top of another. So in order to do that, I need to go right down here to the row below. Is usually kind of over to the left, just a little bit over to the side from the stitch up here. I'm going to pull up that front loop from the row below. That's what this is, okay? Once I do the correct Let me yarn over for my double crochet. There we go. Now I'm going to go in that front loop right there, yarn over, pull up my loop, and just finish my double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now you see how it's covered that white right there? It just lays right over top of it, and you can continue with, you know, whatever pattern you're trying to make. So we're going to single crochet back loop, single crochet back loop, single crochet back loop, and now I want to overlay right here again. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go right down here 1 row below and pick up this stitch that is the front posts, or not front post, but the front loop stitch from the previous row. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's all mosaic crochet, mosaic overlay crochet is. As long as you can read that graph, you can do this. That is all this is. It's all this is. So I'm actually, like I said earlier in the video, so incredibly surprised at how easy this has been. But that is all you do. And then, you know, the next thing you know, you've got a rhythm going. It's pretty incredible actually how it turns out, because see, you know, that pink, when you do those double crochets, it covers this white right here. So your color, your design is going to show where you want it to show. And that's as simple as it is. It is not hard at all, is it? Nope. Are y'all ready for this? Are you ready? Let me show you, because the blanket is done. It's so big. Like, isn't it fantastic? Look. Like, it just keeps going. Like, there's more trees down here. I mean, this is an Afghan. It is huge, and I completely stick to my statement that I think that this would make a good comforter for a twin-size bed, because I didn't realize how big this thing was going to be. I mean, no wonder it took me 5 months to do this, right? I'm so proud of this. To date, this is the biggest, most time-consuming, and most difficult pattern that I have made. Now, I say the word difficult loosely because this was not a hard pattern. Once you get through the first couple of rows and you start getting the hang of it, it really was not hard. So it looks complicated, but I promise you this is not. Do not be afraid of mosaic overlay crochet. Let me tell you about the border on this, because we did not talk about that. I didn't make any video of me creating the border here, this envelope border, because I was just wanting to get this done so badly. My goal was to have it done by May 1st. Yeah, it's May 12th. It's the weekend of Mother's Day, and I just finished this officially 2 days ago. Okay, so let's talk about this envelope border. Like I said in an earlier video, I went around on both sides, and this is 3 double crochets, 2 in the cream color, 1 in the pink on the front and the back, because it closed in all of those little loose ends on the sides where you're changing color for each row. And the top is just a single crochet across the top to crochet the 2 together to close it. That's all this is. But because this thing is so big, it took a while to do that. Like, I thought, oh, I'll get that done in a day or 2. No, it took like a week, because, you know, life, I have work and I have other responsibilities. So, you know, I was only able to sit down and work on this for maybe like an hour or 2 at a time, a couple of days a week. So again, no wonder it took me 5 months to make this thing. Now, this has been cleaned. I have washed it and I have dried it. the yarn, Red Heart Super Saver, this softened up a lot after it was washed and dried. I was very impressed by how soft this got. However, one thing that I was kind of hoping wouldn't happen, but I'm not surprised that it happened, is it's sort of fuzzed up. Can you see that? How it got fuzzy? Yeah, that didn't happen till it got washed and dried. But it still looks very nice. It washed and dried very well. There were no problems. No ends came out. I'm so glad. I'm so glad and so proud of this. Oh my goodness. I would absolutely do this again, but I'm not going to do it again for a while. Actually, I think I may take a little crochet break because I know I've not had a lot of videos out in a while, but believe me, I've been crocheting my heart out on this thing and you're not seeing it until now. But this has been fantastic. Now, the yarn that came in the kit, it came with quite a bit. I didn't count them. I don't remember how many balls came in the kit. I would have to go through the pattern and look again, but really doesn't matter. All that matters is that I still have one entire skein of the Red Heart Ombre Jazzy, and this is a skein that's been about half used just for the border. It took half a skein of this just to do the border. It's crazy, right? And I still have, and this is what was left of a ball of the Aran color. I actually ran out of that in the kit. I went and bought, thankfully, 2 more balls of this Aran color yarn, and I have 1 ball left that I didn't use at all, and this is all that's left of the second ball that I bought. So I still have an entire ball of this left, and since it came with the kit, I'm going to put it into the box to ship back to the person that I made this for, because I know she'll want this, because I've been seeing all over with other YouTubers and other vloggers that Red Heart is having trouble with their ombre colorways, that they're not the same. Their distribution method apparently has changed. And this is the original Super Saver Jazzy. And I know that the person that I made this for has been looking for this on their channel. I've seen videos of it. I was not going to say who I was making this blanket for, because I didn't want it to look like I was trying to use this person in any way, or, you know, try to get subscribers or anything like that from them. Like, I don't want to piggyback off of this person, but most of you all probably have already figured out where this came from anyway. I was given this kit by Crystal from Bago de Crochet to make as part of an auction that she is going to be having late in the spring, early the summer this year, 2023. And all of the proceeds are going to go toward animal charities to help animals. And I'm not sure which charity she's chosen, but animals have my heart. So absolutely, I wanted to help as soon as she said that. So I emailed her, said, hey, you know, if you have any crochet kits left, I'll make one for you, no problem. So she was like, great, here's what I got, which one you want? So here it is. I really enjoyed this, and I'm also going to stick, just in case I had to show you this card. I found a little greeting card in a stack of cards that I had, and because I was wanting to put a little note in there thanking the person for letting me make this, because this really helped improve my crochet skills. It forced me outside of my comfort zone to try something new, and I encourage you to do that, because it was great. And even if it hadn't been, at least you tried and you know where you need to start practicing more. So I wanted to send this person a little card to thank them for letting me do this, and I'm going to get this boxed up today, and I'm going to take it to the post office tomorrow to ship back to Bago Day for her auction. Or if she wants to keep it, I wouldn't cry about that either. But this is the card that I found, and it was too perfect. It is too perfect. Look at this. It's a little kitty in a like a little crocheted basket, or like a hanging basket. And look at the cat's name. it's Rose. And if you follow Bag O' Day Crochet, you know why the name Rose is special to her. So this was just, I had to. On the inside, I wrote a nice little note for her, thanking her for letting me participate in this with her. On the back, I do want to show you this. This organization right here, Alley Cat Allies. My husband and I donate to them multiple times a year. We love this organization. We've done a lot of research on them because, I mean, you do have to kind of be careful when it comes to charities, because sometimes you're donating to something and the reason that you're sending the donation, most of the money's not even going to that. You know, if you're sending money to help, you know, with child hunger to, you know, prevent that from happening, you don't know how much of that $25 you sent to that organization actually went to giving these kids food. So the same with the Alley Cat Allies. We wanted to make sure that most of what we donated was actually going to go toward benefiting cats, because I love animals in general, but cats have my heart. So I wanted to show you this in case you're interested in it. It's a wonderful program and I encourage you to look at it. But yes, I thought this was lovely, so I wanted to show that just in case she doesn't show it to you. I wanted you to see it. All right, y'all, I think that's it. I'm officially done, and as much fun as I had making this Afghan, I am so glad that it is finished and I can move on to something else. And I actually have a paint by numbers kit that I bought 3 years ago from Michael's that I've only done like a quarter of it. So I think I'm going to give my fingers and hands a little break from crocheting, and I'm just going to do a little paint by numbers kit because it's adorable. It's a kitten surrounded by yarn balls and it's precious. So I'm going to go work on that for a little bit, and I will be back soon with you for another video. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, one of my buddies showed up. That's Burger. Right there, yeah. That's my Burger. He's a sweet boy. If you have not met Bag O' Day Crochet, go over to her YouTube channel. If you love yarn content, even if you don't crochet, she has tons and tons of yarn content. You will love it. Go see her if you have not. Most of you that follow me found me through Bag O' Day Crochet in the first place anyway, so you've already got that covered. But for those of you that have not, go follow her. I promise you, you won't regret it. I'll see you all next time. And until then, happy yarn crafting.